Hello, everybody. I'm just going to give a few minutes for everybody to get in the building. I just sent some stuff on social media just to remind everybody that we're going to be here together today. So I'm just going to wait just a few minutes. If you are on, please tell me who you are, where you're tuning in from. I can't wait to hear from you. We got a lot to talk about today, just like last time. In the meantime, I'm just going to say hello here. Hello, everybody. Well, everyone. I like everyone. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. We're going to get started quite soon. Just want to give people a chance to tune in. Don't want to miss anything today. I'm so excited. It is sunny outside in the DMV. It is nice out here. But again, if you are tuning in, please annotate in the live chat area. Just say hello, where you're from, any questions that you have today. I want to make sure that we address everything that you got today. Okay, we'll wait another minute. Well, I hope everybody is enjoying the day. This has just been really, really good. This month has been an incredible month. Looking forward to the remainder of the year, and I hope you are too. Tea sipping Sundays. I don't have tea today, y'all. I got water. Sorry, I don't mean to cheat anybody, make anybody feel bad. Not at all. But I do have my water, and I got alkaline water nonetheless. I got to go bougie with it, I guess. But actually, I happen to enjoy alkaline water a little bit better, only because I feel like when I drink it, I want more of it. I think just regular water, I don't really care. I don't drink enough. And that's something that I need to do is get more water input or intake rather. Okay, well, it is 3:35. We're just going to go ahead and get going. Again, as you are joining us, please make sure that you annotate in the live chat who you are and where you're tuning in from. Whatever questions that you have, I want to hear from them. I want to hear from you to answer them. So if you're just joining us, I am Tina Smith, the Financial T. I run my own coaching and consulting firm, but I decided to come on YouTube Live for 30 minutes for Tea Sippin' Sundays. So we meet right here, YouTube Live, every first Sunday of the month. And today is that day. It's the first Sunday of the month. So I want to make sure that I spend my time with you. And this is an opportunity for you to ask me any basic financial questions. This is a time where we can just talk about financial stuff, whatever that looks like. Whatever your feelings are, whatever your thoughts are, I want to hear from you and be able to help you address. That way you can move forward in your finances. And that's what this whole Tea Sippin' Sundays thing is about. It's about making sure that you get some practical tools by the end of every session. You've got something that you can walk away with and can actually put into practice. That's so important when we talk about finances. A little bit more about me. Before we dive into, I just want to, just in case anybody has any questions you want to annotate in the live chat, just a little bit more about me. I served our country for 20 years, 1 month, and 26 days in the United States Air Force. So I am proud to say that I've served and I retired from the Air Force in 2013. And I decided to become a financial advisor or financial coach, financial professional, whatever you want to call me, financial planner. I became that in 2014. I absolutely love this stuff. I could talk money all day, not so much about not so much about what I'm going to do when I get all this money. The whole bit is to make sure we discuss what proper management tools we could do to manipulate money and stop allowing money to manipulate us. So with that, last month we talked about the importance of giving. In this particular case, I'm a tither. If you know me personally, you know that I serve and attend my church on a regular basis. And if you know me, you know that I'm a giver as well. And it's important for me to share about not only the where, but also the how. We want to discuss and talk a little bit more about why giving, why finding the proper way to give is important. And it's the how today. Next time we'll talk about something else concerning that. And as the Sippin Sundays continue, we're going to talk about something different. Every series will be different, but this series that we're on right now, this is part 2 of 3. This is about tithing, and it is about how. If you know how I operate, I don't take Bible scriptures and read them here. That's not the place for that. But I do give a lot of scriptural advice as far as the proper management of money, and then also the importance of how to tithe. Well, what you may not know is that tithing is something that is in scripture. It is not only in scripture for the old times, as in the Old Testament, but also in the New. And it is important that we reverence and be thankful for everything that we have. And the way that I choose to do it is through my tithing. Now, let's start with some of the basics here, because I think some people ask something like, okay, well, Tina, do you tithe off of the net, the gross? Oh, hey, Reese, I'm sorry. Hey, girl, hey. And Dope for Degrees is on today as well. Hey, Danielle. I'm so excited that you ladies decided to join today. If you have any questions, please join the live chat and let me know what's up. Oh, yes. We sipping the tea today, girl. Yes, Reese. Yes. I don't have tea today, though. I have water. So I got my little alkaline water. So, I got to be bougie with it just a hair. But I decided to get some water today. So I hope I don't disappoint, though, still. I hope I don't disappoint. Yes, Danielle. And thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. And Danielle, you have really inspired me. Actually, Reese and Danielle, you both have inspired me to do more with video content and YouTube and live. So I'm stepping out on faith and following you ladies' lead. So I really appreciate your support and meeting with me here today. So let's go back to the tithing. So if you know me, again, I'm a giver. I attend my church regularly, if you know, and it's important, though, that I provide my reverence, that I provide my level of thanksgiving, and I show that through my giving. I recognize that everything that I earn from an income perspective, everything that my family brings in from an income perspective, I recognize that though I may be here doing the work, I recognize that the income is not of just my work. I do have a part to play in that, of course, but I recognize that as I continue in excellence, that God is going to bless everything that I put my hands to. And so it's important that I give our tithes. And so let's go back to where we were. I'm talking about concerning how much that is. So I get a lot of questions, especially from clients that are believers. And their question is, do you tithe off the gross? Do you tithe off the net? Well, I'm going to let you know, from me, my way is to tithe off the gross. So I recognize, for some people that could be mind blowing, but I would say it like this: if I want God to bless me, if I give a net tithe, I need to expect a net blessing. So what does that mean? The tithe, in my opinion, is off the gross, but what some people do is they do it off net. And so, of course, that is the lower amount. That is the amount that's after taxes and after your benefits, whether it be from a life insurance perspective or voluntary benefits. So after all those deductions are taken, then what you get in your bank account, that's the net. And so if I am going to give off net, this is Tina Smith's opinion. There's nothing scriptural here, but I want to share what my thoughts are. But if I'm going to give based on my net, I need to expect net blessing. I recognize that when I've decided to give off my gross finally, it took me some time. I don't want to make it sound as if I had this revelation from day one, because that couldn't be further from the truth. But when I decided to challenge myself to give it from a gross perspective, I did, and I got gross blessings. I mean, there was nothing deducted from my blessings, and those kinds of blessings I'm talking about. So yes, to me, it's important to do the gross. And so the reason why I'm looking right here is because in case my stuff goes out, I just realized my battery's low. Forgive me, y'all. Y'all know I'm new to this. But I have been with clients all weekend and been taking my computer everywhere and neglected to plug it up the 30 minutes I was here before I got online with you. But anyway, so to me, it's important to give on a gross income. And so that's a choice that I make now. Business owners, let me make sure. Business owners just want to note this. Now, I did not learn this on my own. This is something that somebody came to a meeting that I was at my church and talked to us about how to appropriately do that as a business owner. And so this was new. That part from a business owner's perspective was new to me, but I want to share this with you because it helped me so much. And I learned this from Pastor John K. Jenkins. If you're familiar with him, you know that he is the pastor at First Baptist Church of Glen Arden. And he came down and taught a session about business owners and how to appropriately tithe from your business. So this is what he shared with me, and I'm ready to share it with you now. He said, I'm sorry, the group, it wasn't just me. I don't want to make it sound like he was talking directly to me, though I feel like he was. He shared with the group that it was important for us to remember why we got in business in the first place. Most business owners, we all come in because we want to help people. We want to be that person to shine the light on a problem and be the solution to said problem. And what I find is that individuals get this wrong because they are then tithing from a business owner's perspective, tithing off of all the income that is being made. But what he taught us was to remember that we have to stay in business in order to be a blessing in our business. So case in point, if Tina Smith decided to tithe off of all her income for the business, then that means I might not have money for my licenses. I might not have money for the permissions that I currently have in order to broker investment business in the state of Virginia or anywhere for that matter. I have to also get permission from the county and the state to do exactly what I do. Yep. So if you're a business owner, then it's important for you to make sure that you pay those things first. Continue to be a blessing in your business by staying in business, and whatever you got to do to keep those operational costs going to continue to stay in business, that's what you need to pay first. Then you tithe from that. So I recognize that it's totally different than what say a W-2 employee would tithe on. I agree. But I also agree with the fact that in order for me to continue to be a blessing in my business, I first have to continue to stay in business. So he taught that to me, and that helped me so much because I want to make sure that I still honor God in my business. And this is the way that he taught us to do that. And I am putting that in my business. So let me get a quick peek at what everybody is saying. Yes, indeed, Reese. Remember your why. Yes, you're right. I mean, no matter what business you're in, a lot of times you have to have licenses and permissions in order to do that. And guess what? Every license that I have, every permission that I have, it costs some money. And don't forget your taxes, because sometimes, business owners don't do what's appropriate in their taxes to stay in business too. And the last thing I want is for anybody to have to go out of business because the tax situation just got out of control. So it's important that we keep those things in mind. So what I would recommend as a business owner, make sure you get somebody to be able to help you with what your income looks like, what your taxes should look like. Make sure you keep a tally of operational expenses. I have my clients on many websites. So I've got I got clients on websites from how they pay me my fees, how I keep in contact with them as far as their addresses, da 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 da. My T-shirt and my books are sold on a particular website, and I got to pay all these fees. If I want to advertise on social media, I have to pay a fee for that. But we have to make sure that we always keep that in mind. And I think I'm about to switch in just a minute. So just give me a second while I figure this out. Y'all know I'm slow. Y'all know I'm slow. I tell you what, y'all gonna walk with me today. How about that? Because I don't want to stop talking to you. And I'm gonna go downstairs now. My mom's cooking. So if y'all smell this ham, well, y'all can't smell it, but anyway, this ham is kicking. I'm telling you what I know. She done messed around and she done cooked some stuff. Anyway, I'm coming down to get my plugs. I don't want to lose y'all. That would be great, Mom, and thank you. My apologies. My plug is down here, and I kind of forgot about that. Can y'all see me? Okay, good. Hey, everybody, I'm on. I'm down here. I'm on live. Thank you. You got to tell these jokes. Anyway, okay. So yes, the reason why we got in business in the first place is to continue to help people and be a blessing to people. So it's so important. So yes, we have to know how to do this in a way to where we don't feel like giving to the Lord is a burden. We don't want that. We don't want that. And to be honest, that's not what the Lord is asking us to do, is to, feel like we're burdened about this. The Bible talks about being a joyful giver, and that's exactly what we need to be. And so we have to make sure that we keep the main thing. And as business owners, let's make sure that we continue to honor the Lord in our business by staying in business. Any questions? Make sense? Did I lose anybody there? Let's see what we got. Yes. Okay, get there, Reese. You ain't far away, girl. And yes, Danielle, give and it shall be given unto you. Absolutely. And also, I'll couple that with much is given, much is required. I mean, us as business owners, we meet and touch people on a regular basis, and those individuals expect us to be a blessing. And the one thing that I don't want to ever tell my clients, we're closing our doors because we did not manage our money in a proper way. But I want to also make sure that that in my business, I keep that honor. So I'm finally at a place, and I'm thankful. I haven't been in business for a year yet, but I'm in a place to where I am sensing a profit finally, and I'm happy about that. But I see that growing even more, and I want to make sure that as I'm starting to recognize the profit on a regular basis, that I can start taking the profit and start giving back to the Lord, because I want Him to continue to bless my business and to be in business for a long time, because my clients need me. Your clients need you. And so that's one piece I wanted to discuss in the how. Let's see what else is going on. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Reese. We honor God with our business by staying in business. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, of course. So let's talk about a little bit more about the how we're supposed to tithe. So we talked about, yes, gross. I want gross blessings. That's how I don't want God to withhold anything from me. So I want to make sure that I don't withhold from Him. God's not stupid. He knows that this is a partnership, and then if I do my part, He's going to do His part. But me having that faith to do my part, and He just going to just open those anyway. Okay, I had to have a praise break right there. Anyway, but from a business owner's perspective, we have to make sure that we continue to be in business by keeping all of our licenses and permissions and whatnot updated. That means paying those things. But then also more about the how. We have to make sure, and I'm not using any cuss words here. We have to use discipline. I said that. Discipline. That is not a cuss word. It's a word that we must be able to do. I remember when I started tithing in my life. I was single, and I was like, kind of check to check. I was doing me, whatever that really means, right? So I found, though, as I started going to church as an adult, as a young adult, and learning more on my own and not dependent upon, what my parents and, what my grandparents, have taught, but learning the Lord for myself, and started going to church and was like, yeah, maybe I should start doing this tithing thing. I started, and it wasn't the full 10%, but I started doing something. And as I found that I was spending my money everywhere else, I found that I needed to take a snapshot of what I was doing that wasn't giving me the return that I was looking for. And I'm not talking about return as in, return of investment or anything like that. But I'm talking about like where I can put my money toward, and it's a seed that will produce a harvest. So as I started to do that, I noticed that one miracle, I would say, it's got to be a miracle. When I was younger, I had a boyfriend that was across the seas. Don't tell nobody this. No, just kidding. So he was in Japan, and I was stationed at Boeing Air Force Base. This was before the cell phones and the calling cards and all of that. So I'm running up this bill on the phone, talking to him. And I found that I had ran that phone bill up to $3,000. Now, I'll say this. When you're making like $12,000, $13,000 a year, that's a lot of money. And I ran this phone bill up, and I had, moved to somewhere else in North Dakota, and this debt ended up following me to where they started actually taking money out of my paycheck. Well, I'm pushing the panic button is being hit like on the regular. And I ended up talking to a mentor of mine who ended up being, I didn't know this at the time I started talking to him. He ended up being my pastor out there. But we began talking about it, and he began to give me some great advice. And I ended up starting going to his church and started tithing, or started giving, because it wasn't the complete tithe. But I started giving, and I continued to work with this guy. And he had called one day, this agency that was taking money out of my check, and he called on my behalf. When he called and he put it on speakerphone, the agency didn't even know who I was. And I'm like, ain't no way, because these jokers was taking my check a minute ago. But I mean, he called and they were like, we don't even know who you talk about. I know for a fact that was strictly based on my decision and my action to start giving. So I know that as I started giving back to the Lord what he had given to me, and started not just spending my money in all stupid ways, having that confirmation for me made me want to give even more. So I was like, bump this net stuff. I'm going to the full. I'm going to gross. I want my gross blessings, because I figure if he can forgive a debt like that for the phone company and they not even know who I am, after a while, I know he got more for me. And I'm so glad that I made that decision. From a house perspective, though, it's a matter of us making sure that we calm down some of the things that we're doing that's keeping us away from giving our full tithe. And so when I found out that I was getting, this money taken from my check, and then I thought about, all the Burger King stops and all the Starbucks this and Applebee's that, all the stuff that I was doing. And I could easily have found where my actual tithe would come from, but I had to use some discipline. So let me go to the comments real quick and see where we at. Yes, discipline, Danielle, discipline. What a word. That'll preach on its own. But it's so important that we consider disciplining our spending. That way we can tithe. So that's number 2, discipline. 3, and I might hurt some feelings here, but y'all know me, I'm gonna tell the truth. We have to stop trying to keep up with everybody else. So there are some things that we don't need, that we want. So to impress others or to keep up with others, that's just something we can't do, especially not when we're trying to build ourselves to begin tithing. There's another word. It's not a cuss word, but you may feel like it, but that word is sacrifice. Yes, I had to sacrifice, to where I couldn't, come up with the name brand this, the nice brand new car that, the big house that, a lot of times, not getting my nails done, or, not getting my hair done and doing it myself. I mean, these are some sacrifices that I had to make in order to really start establishing my growth, not as an employee or a person trying to get their money up, but then also trying to grow as a Christian and put in my money where my heart was. And so I had to sacrifice some things, and it required me not to ball out. And I'm glad that I chose to do that in my younger years, to where, as I met my husband, got married, we had our son, we're now able to enjoy those things that I couldn't do back then, because I established that firm foundation. And, as I continued to earn more, it was, I was just explaining and sharing with somebody last night, actually. I went to the church service at our church last night, and I was praying with someone, and I encouraged that young lady that, it's so important for us to remember that God honors what we do when we have little. And if we treat little right, when we get more and we get the promotion and we get the bonuses and whatnot, he already know what we're going to do with it. And us making more money is not going to solve any money problem that you have. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you don't have the discipline, and you're not willing to accept some sacrifices, you're not going to get where you really want to go as far as your finances go. So as I was explaining that to her last night, it's important for me to also share with you about the importance of making sure that we keep our focus on what we need to be doing in order to properly, from a financial perspective, give back to the Lord in the proper way. And I'm so glad that I decided to make sure that I kept my my outgoing expenses down, so that I can give properly to the Lord. So that was thing number one. Thing number two was to save, for myself and my future. So those are the top two things, and everything else came after that. So even when it comes to somebody who is trying to build wealth, the first thing you need to do, if you're a giver, that's number one. Give to your local church. It could be a community organization or a charitable organization, but giving first is number one. Number two, save for yourself, whether it be, for emergencies, for your future. But it's so important. And in that way, you're able to manage, those dollars that you have left. So you're not going to, if you have those two as your priority, you're not going to just go out and just ball out of control every chance you get, because you're thinking, okay, now I'm doing this for the Lord. I'm doing this for me. It don't leave a whole lot of money to just, be frivolous in your spending. So that's what it's going to take. And I'm so glad that that I was able to do that younger, because now, given it is what it is, that's, matter of fact, it's the first of the month. I got my notice today that we gave our tithe. So that's number one in our lives. And so as we continue to earn more, it's just what it is. It's a way of life for us. And so I'm glad that, now I'm able to enjoy some of the nicer stuff. But, when I first started trying to figure out how to, tithe and give, I just had to do what I had to do. But my number one priority was to give. And I'm telling you what I know. And I share this everywhere. I know the importance of giving, because I know that I can never outgive the Lord. He always, 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 always give me everything back that I've given. And it's not only in money where I receive the return from him. It could be in my relationships. It could be, a blessing, for my son. It could be somebody, decided to, give us a coupon or a gift card somewhere. Or it could be, I found a Groupon that we go into the melting pot for the low. I mean, it could be anything. So I just want you to be aware that, if you give, it's not going to just return to you in monetary form. It's going to come back in all kinds of ways, and you're going to be able to enjoy the harvest of the seeds that you had sown. So I'm going to go back to the comments one more time, and then our 30 minutes is up just that fast. Can you believe it? I can't believe it either. Yes, Danielle, I'm a preacher girl. It's what I do. Yes. Amen. Talk to all these comments. They're so wonderful. I just love you guys so much. Yes. So I want to make sure that I share with you just some good tidbits, just some good nuggets, so that as you continue on in your financial journey, that you have the right steps to take, so that you can just be financially free, financially independent, financially successful, secure, whatever it is for you. I want you to experience that. And so this month we talked about how to tithe. So next month we're going to talk about something else. So I'm super excited to always be with you. Please join me again for Tea Sippin' Sundays every first Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, this is where we make them dollars make sense. So I'm super excited that you had joined me today. Thank you for your comments. They're so lovely. I love you guys so much. And so the question is, will I be able to share this? This is so good. So here's what I need you to do, Reese. Share the YouTube page so we can get the subscribers, because that's where it's at. You're a subscriber and you can have that access to me for 30 minutes every Tea Sippin' Sunday. So if you would please share the fact that that I'm doing this, and to share the link, that way your friends and everybody that you know can subscribe, and we can just share our time together. So I hope that helps, and thank you for asking. So I'm thankful that you got something out of this today. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And whoever else is tuning in, please feel free to share. And so everybody that you know can get these good nuggets too. But my time is up, y'all. Y'all know I love you, though. And I can't wait to join you again. YouTube Live again. Tina Smith, the Financial Tea, president of the Financial Tea Coaching and Consulting Firm. Your girl is holding down the DMV. If you have any millennial professionals who need my help as far as budgeting and as far as debt reduction, as far as helping them save for the long term, save for that first home, save for that vacation that you want to take later on this year or even next year, please tell them to connect with me. You can connect with me on any social media. That would be The Financial Tea, The Financial Tea. And also my website is thefinancialtea.org. As you know, I'm also on LinkedIn as The Financial Tea. And of course, this YouTube channel as Tina Smith, the Financial Tea. And again, holding down the DMV. I can't wait to hear from you. Oh, one more thing, my email address, which is tina@thefinancialtea.org. Again, tina@thefinancialtea.org. Y'all know I had to get all that in before I actually shut it down. But I'm so happy that you joined us today. And until next time, I'm wishing you God's best. See you next month. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.